There are two big energetic themes going on right meow. The first one is this feeling of being stuck, of being in between two places. The second one is a feeling of expectation. I can tell you, I feel like I've been in these spaces back and forth between the polarities of it for quite a while now. I deliver babies for a living. And so I'm well aware of the long and arduous process that a birth can take when the baby's in the birth canal and the mother's not quite ready to deliver. This can be a very long, long, long process. It's a very confined and a restricted feeling. And then all of a sudden, birth occurs, and there's this sudden release into the world. There's like a big sigh of relief. Everyone in the room can be heard gasping at the moment of a baby's birth. And the first time you hear a newborn cry, there's like this thrill and there's this relief. And it's one of the most wonderful moments in a woman's life and in the life of her family. But what do we actually know about birth? Like, do y'all remember your birth? I don't remember mine. I only have a secondhand account from the people that were there, when I was born. So, hello, beautiful souls. This is Dr. Danny, physician astrologer. We're going to talk about three things today. We're going to talk about the Leo Venus star point that's occurring on August 13th. If you've been watching my videos, you know this is a highly anticipated inferior conjunction of Venus and the Sun. We're going to talk about that and the energies involved. 3 days later, there's going to be a new moon in Leo, while Venus is still conjunct the Sun. And then we're also going to talk about the metaphysics of birth, because this astrology literally is pointing to a rebirth. If you feel stuck right now, if you feel like you're expecting, that's because it's coming. The rebirth and the birth are coming. So let me talk about this Leo Venus star point. This actually only happens every 8 years. Now, star points occur every 584 days, but in the same constellation, it only happens every 8 years. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at the astrology of this. And I am going to draw for you. Okay, here we go. So here on the left, you've got the Leo Venus star point. Oh, you know what? Before I show you guys this, sorry. Let's just look at this. We are looking at this time frame right here. This is stellariumweb.org. So you can see the Sun and Venus conjunct. And then a few days later, here's the moon for the new moon in Leo. Okay, so these 3 days are the energy that we're going to be talking about. Here's what it looks like on a solar system perspective. So for those of you that are spatial thinkers, you can take the inner solar system and move it around here. This is August 13th. Okay, let me get back to that image. So that's what we're looking at. That's the energy portal. And this is a portal, guys, because this is our rebirth. So we are literally on the precipice of this Venus star point. We are at the moment of death, the moment in the birth canal, and the moment right before our birth. This is also the beginning of the ascension of the morning star Venus. And at the moment of this aspect, once Venus and the Sun are perfected, Venus will be closer to Earth than she is to the Sun, approximately 2 light minutes away. So if you wanted to say hello to someone on Venus, it would take 2 minutes for your message to get there. Right now, a lot of people are feeling a little warmer in the environment, like there's some kind of climate change going on. I feel like it might actually be star Venus. Do you feel an extra tug at the tidal forces in your body? A little bit more ooey gooey, a little bit more juicy, a little bit more frisky? That's because Venus is so close right now. I hope you guys can feel this energy. Let's talk about some of these aspects, because one I've been watching for a while now is this grand trine with Venus, our collective north node in Chiron, and the galactic center. So here we go. We have this right here. We have this right here. You can see these are exact, this energy right here and right here. So I know some of you have been reaching out to me. You do have aspects in your galactic center, and that's why this is important. So whatever is over there in your galactic center, which is where Ophiuchus and Sagittarius meet, is is going to be impacted by this rebirth of Venus and the collective North Node in Chiron. So Ophiuchus, some of you know this, is ascension energy. It's the Christ energy, the Buddha, the Dalai Lama, Imhotep. This is where we ascend out of the matrix. It's also where the center of our galaxy is, the big black hole that sends out pulses of gravitational waves throughout our galaxy. And it's also the Black Road, the Mayan Xibalba. So this is a very important part of the sky. Oh, by the way, guys, we are using the actual sky. If you use tropical, that's totally okay, but it just confuses me. So I'd rather look up at the sky and read the energy. So that's what we're doing. And that's why we actually have Ophiuchus on these charts. And they're not all 30 degrees. So at any rate, you have this grand trine. So you have this ascension energy, this rebirth energy right here. And Venus, as I've talked to you before, is one of the only planets that goes through this descent, death, rebirth, and ascension. And she's doing it right now. And the Venus star point is that actual moment where she flips from evening star to morning star, playing out for us the role of death and rebirth and ascension. So you've got ascension energy in the galactic center. You've got ascension energy with Venus. And then you've got our collective North Node, which is our spiritual evolutionary destiny. Also the wounds of disconnection from spirit, all that's in Pisces. So we have to heal ourselves in order to heal these collective wounds and progress towards our collective destiny. So this is a flow that I don't think this can be stopped. This is the portal of rebirth right here. Okay, this is like a cosmic flow. Venus star point also squares on Uranus up here, which is loosely conjunct with Jupiter. So you have these two guys up here and these two guys over here. So a Venus sun in Leo squaring on Uranus in the very 0 degrees of Taurus, and then Jupiter in Aries. And what this feels like to me is the temptation to be free of the pains of our rebirth. But a Jupiter in Aries reminds us to have faith in the self, expansive faith in the self and the process, because that's where true freedom awaits us. So it's okay. You're going to feel tempted to not do this work or to resist the flow of this energy. Don't. You have to just let it be. When big energies come at us, like this Leo Venus star point, we have to surrender. Okay. Now, Pluto is still T-squaring our nodes. So we have Pluto over here. This has been going on for the better part of this year. Of course, there's our nodal energy again. And now Pluto's in retrograde. During the first part of the year, Pluto was direct through Sagittarius. So Pluto for me is empowerment and purification, right? So that it's that Phoenix energy where you literally, descend, die, you're reborn, and you ascend. So that's Pluto energy too. And it's squaring our collective North Node and our collective South Node. And our North Node is pointing towards that universal love energy that we're all trying to work for within ourselves and without. And then, the collective South Node that is in Virgo, reminding us that we're all made of the stars, because Virgo has the most galaxies in its constellation. It is the stuff of energy into matter and matter into energy. And Pluto's really trying to teach us and empower us to use our magic of manifestation to realize our collective destiny. Now, Mercury and Mars are conjunct in the constellation of Leo as well over here. And they are opposing Neptune in Pisces. Now, when I have Mars and Mercury together, this is a message of the will of the divine. So some sort of message is coming through of the will of the divine. Leo is the divine. It is the king. It is the king of the kingly realms. And so there's a message from the one infinite creator in this conjunction right here. And to me, it speaks to the fact that we are meant to go through this process. While Neptune is over here, retrograde in Pisces, this is a balancing act. Here, I don't think we should fall asleep because there's going to be a temptation to escape the flow of this energy. There's going to be a fear. I'll go back to the pregnant woman, the woman about to give birth. She's terrified of what's happening to her body. And a lot of women go through a whole lot of fear during the birthing process. And so I think we're going to be faced with some of that unless we can let go. But don't let go too much, right? Don't even escape into your dreams. Let yourself still have an awareness of your dreams because you may get the divine message through your dreams. Now, Neptune also sextiles on Pluto. This is going on for a little while as well. And I would use this as an opportunity to go inward for empowerment. Use the dreams, use the spirit, use the subconscious to let go and to flow into this cosmic energy, this rebirth that's about to happen for all of us. Pluto also trines on Uranus up here. And this for me is another long transit, and this is about a metamorphosis. So this this transit that Uranus has been doing through Aries, where we are being free in our self-expression, being free in who we want to be, is now being grounded in Taurus, but it trines on this Pluto energy, which is sextiling Neptune, which is pointing us towards our collective destiny, and Venus is accessing the ascension energy from the center of our galaxy and pointing it all towards that north node. Woo! So okay, so then we move on to the 16th of August, which is just a few days later, and we get into this Leo new moon. Now, all these energies I just described to you are still very relevant. You can see not much else has moved other than the moon is now getting into the mix with Venus and the sun, right? So a new moon is a new beginning, right? A new moon is where we set intentions. What's next? This is the birth. There's a new moon. There's a new morning star. There's a new just the birth. The birth is here. This is the portal. This side is the entrance. Enter and exit. Okay, so we're going to come through this portal on the VSP and we're going to exit via the new moon. The only thing that's really different other than the moon is that Mars has just entered Virgo. So now the will of the divine is traveling through the constellation of the divine birthing mother sky goddess. So this is a very chill Mars, a very calculated Mars, a Mars that feels the pull of service to do what is necessary. And he's quickly approaching our south node. So, guys, this is your portal of rebirth. Let's talk a little bit about birth in general and the metaphysics of birth. This is what I promised you, and I want you guys to come along with me on this. Then I'll give you a few announcements and we'll be done. So I'm an obstetrician. I deliver babies. I've told you guys that before. But the word obstetrics, it means to stand by. So I have literally stood by thousands of women going through this birthing process. A lot of times it can't be stopped. Like sometimes it goes really quickly. There's no way you can stop the baby. Sometimes I get there right after the baby's born. But it also can't happen faster than it's supposed to. The physics of birth is essentially there's a pulse, there's a rhythm to the body and how it births the baby. And each push and each pulse that's going on drives us closer and closer to the destination, to the birth. And so when we're speaking metaphysically and we're speaking astrologically, there's waves of creation that come at us, you know? And instead of resisting the wave and getting smothered by it, like a surfer, you just let go. You just let the wave pull you. You get caught in the wave and you flow with it. In between the waves, in between the pushes, in between the pulses, the rhythm of this rebirth, there's a chance to take a breath, to be ready, and to look around and to notice how much closer you are, to have gratitude for everything that you've accomplished, to be amazed at everything that you've accomplished, and to rest in the divinity of right now. And we can predict when the next wave's coming. And this wave just so happens to be Leo energy. So guys, you really want to just be, okay? You want to be reborn in spirit. You want to let the process unfold the way it is supposed to. It will be so much easier. It will help you so much more. I'm going to leave a link to this little blurb that I'm reading to you. This is from truthunity.net. The metaphysical meaning of birth. Birth, new, the awakening of man to a consciousness of his unity with the one universal spirit. The change from mortal to spiritual consciousness through the begetting and the quickening power of the word of truth. It is the change that comes here and now. Jesus made no mention of resurrection after death as having any part in the new birth. Except one be born anew, he cannot see the kingdom of God. Birth, new, change following. When man is begotten and born of the word, he is no longer flesh as grass, but is eternal and abiding, not subject to death and corruption. Birth, new, the effect of begetting and quickening take place in man's inner consciousness, but the process of being born anew includes the whole man, spirit, soul, and body. To be born again is to be made a new creature, having this mind in you, which was also in Jesus Christ, and a body like unto his glorious body. That means if we let our ascension process unfold, if we flow with these cosmic energies, we're in a good spot, you guys. So just a couple of announcements. Venus lovers, I am going to be reaching out to you guys by emails to set up those follow-up calls to see how your Venus and Leo energy went. I want to speak with you guys. If y'all like this video, please subscribe. Please give me a thumbs up. Also, watch the Venus retrograde. It's relevant all the way through the 4th of September. These energies this week are super intense. So feel those energies with that video. I also did a short, and it basically shows you guys in 1 minute the entire Venus cycle from superior conjunction to superior conjunction. So 1 minute equals 584 days, and it starts October 22nd of 2022, back when we had the Virgo new moon, and it goes all the way to June 4th of 2024 when she does her superior conjunction in Taurus, and we are at the halfway point right now, so I thought that would be a cool little video for you guys. Also, check out I'm going to share my screen real quick and show you where you can check out my website. Right here, drdani.com 13/sign astrology. This will give you your sidereal sun sign dates. You can also read a little bit about this, watch this video, check out a free chart. So you can also be my follower on my Facebook page, Dr. Dani, Physician Astrologer. Oh, there's the video I was talking about. See, isn't that cool? So basically, you can watch how Venus moves through her entire cycle. Okay, guys, I think that's it. Thank you so much for joining me, and namaste.